Delegate from Hopewell, Delegate Ingram.
Mr. Speaker, my remarks probably will be a little bit not as professional as my good friend. First of all, I want to say that when I first was elected in 1991, that was a long time ago, my district, now listen to this, the Democrats were in control then, and you talk about gerrymandering. My district was Hopewell, part of Prince George County, Nottoway County, Amelia County, Powhatan County, Chesterfield County, and John Watkins was in the House at that time, and he went to the Senate and now he's retired. Well, I could see John Watkins' house from my district in Powhatan, and it took me 55 minutes to get there from Hopewell. I went all the way to the Cumberland County line. Well, so this side of the aisle was pushing for independent redistricting years and years ago, but anyway. But in 1993, I knew I was going to have tough opposition because Governor Wilder was the governor, and my opponent's father was here at least 3 times a week. And so I really thought that I was going to lose. I was sitting right over here, and everybody was, they were giving their speeches that they were retiring. And at that time, the only 3 that were here was Kurt Cox and Kenny Plum and Bobby Rock. Bobby Rock sat right here. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I stood, and they were saying they were going to, they were so, they were retiring, but they had met so many good people on both sides of the aisle, and the whole thing. So I stood up over here, and I said, Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House. He said, gentlemen from Hopewell. I said, Mr. Speaker and ladies and gentlemen of the House, I said, I want everybody to know I've enjoyed serving in this body. Well, boy, they're whispering like crazy. He hadn't even been here a term. He's getting out. I said, Mr. Speaker, I'm just saying that I've enjoyed both sides of the aisle and meeting people and what I've accomplished. I said, but this is just in case I lose. Let me tell you what. Back here on this row right here, and I'm not going to mention any names when I tell some of the other stuff, but I will tell this. You had Alan Dudley, myself, Dick Fisher, and Frank Wagner. Bobby Rock sat right here where Delegate Riley is sitting. We all smoked. I mean, smoked like a freight train. And the smoke was just rolling like crazy. And Bobby bought a fan and put on his desk to blow the smoke back at us. If I said that, then you would know what I'm talking about. Hey, the Speaker knows that I'm telling the honest truth. Everything that I'm going to say today is 100% true. 100%. And let me tell you, it wasn't
Doesn't
just
mean you should say it, Delegate Ingram.
Hey, they had a little toddy on the floor, too. Yes. They would get one of the pages to get them a Coke. Go get a Coke. And they'd get down behind the desk. Hey, Bob Brown knows what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell a story on him, too. Anyway, and they would sit here at 1 o'clock in the day and have a drink right on the floor. This room back here was for men only. Men only. The ladies had to go down the hall to go to the restroom, okay? Well, let me tell you what, and I know that you don't know this, but I want you to know you have a musician here, Bob Brown. And I've got to tell you a story before I get to this. There was a place up here. They call us a Holiday Inn on Franklin Street. Oh, boy. Woo. Anyway, Bob Brown, Clinton Miller, a lot of you, I know you know who I'm talking about. They had a band, and Clinton Miller played the guitar, and Bob Brown played guitar, and the little place there that you dance and had a good time, they played some. They had a DJ. Well, this was when I first came in 1992. Well, I don't know where I got the representation, where I got the, people thought I liked a good time. I don't know why, but. So it was both Democrats and Republicans that said, Riley, you need to come up to the Holiday Inn on Franklin Street. Said, said you'd really enjoy it. So I went up there. I did enjoy it. The only thing is my wife worked at Firestone, and she waited for me to get home every night. Well, the first time I went up there, I got home around 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's where I made my mistake. What I should have done was just started getting home at 10 o'clock every night. Anyway, so I go up there, and I get home, and the first time it was about 10 minutes to 10. My wife said, where have you been? I said, see, I'm not like my good friend over here. Because my family is sitting up here now. They know my wife, boy, she come down on me in a heartbeat. Anyway, so she said, where you been? I said, I went up to the Holiday Inn on Franklin Street. She said, oh, I said, Marion, you wouldn't believe. We get so much work done up there. I said, we talk to each other. I said, great place to go. Well, everything was fine. Went to bed, everything was all right. It's about 2 days later on a Thursday night, I didn't know it, but everybody's up there on Thursday night. I go up there. I don't get home till about 11 o'clock. Yeah. Wife said, where have you been? I said, went back up to the Holiday Inn on Franklin Street. She said, Riley, she said, do they have a band? I said, no, not normally they don't. Bob them played sometimes. She said, do they have a disc jockey? I said, well, yes. She said, do they have a dance floor? I said, yes. Well, she knew I loved to dance. And she said, did you dance? I said, a couple times. You know what she said? And my family up there, my daughters and son, they will tell you the same thing. She said, I'll tell you what. If you go up there again, you're going to come home to an empty house. Now, I'm telling you right now, you listen to that, because she meant what she said. Well, let me tell you, she got my attention. I didn't go up there anymore because that was it. But that's not the worst one. The worst one. That's not. Hey, let me tell you something. The speaker was there. This was. Tell it all. Hey, we went to where's a national convention? It's a Republican National Convention in Houston, Texas. I mean, my wife is back in Hopewell, Virginia, and I'm in Houston, Texas. Man, that's a long ways away, Ferris, So the host committee gave a big reception at a place in Houston called the Rose. Pat Robertson was there, and lights are everywhere. I'm not paying any attention. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, this gorgeous girl comes up and grabs me by the arm, and she said, come on. She said, don't you want to dance? And I said, well, I don't know. She said, well, come on, you got to dance. And it was a whole bunch of them that were getting the delegates and the senators out to dance. So I'm out there, boy, I'm just, good gosh, I'm in seventh heaven. This thing is gorgeous. And so, I'm dancing up a storm. And so I leave, I go back to my room. It's like 10 or quarter after 10 out there, but it's quarter after 11 back here. And I called my wife on the phone. I said, hey, baby, how you doing? She said, don't baby me. I I said, what's wrong? She said, I just saw you on TV. She said, hey, she said, hey, she said, I just saw you on TV. They had satellited that thing back. Right. I said, what? She said, I want to know who the blonde blip is. I said, she was teaching me how to two-step and Cotton Eye Joe. She said, I'm going to Cotton Eye Joe your blip when you get home. I said, oh my gosh, I've done it again. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what. I seriously, I have enjoyed the fellowship. I've enjoyed the people on both sides of the aisle.
Delegate Ingram, I was with my wife, by the way.
But I tell you what, I stopped enjoying trips probably about 4 or 5 years ago. But I'll tell you what, up until then, we had some real good trips. I have to tell you about one. I won't tell you everything, but I'm going to tell you about one. All right, one thing, and then I'm going to shut up. Went to the U.S. Open, went to Indianapolis 500. I went to U.S. Chamber of Commerce, report at the top, at everything. But I want to tell you, that every day, every morning when I get up, I thank the good Lord above for life. There are so many that I graduated from high school with that have already passed away. And I'm in good health. I want to leave here in good health, but I want to show you something. I had no idea that I would ever be here. And I just turned 13 years old. And I was newspaper carrier of the year, and I got to meet, Kenny Plum may remember, but he's probably one of the old ones, maybe Vivian, but Tom Stanley was the governor of Virginia. And we were at the governor's mansion. Same table that's there today, same chairs, it's just that they recovered the bottoms. However, see, I was a little bitty runt, but this is the truth also. We sit down at the table, and it was a bowl. They served us a bowl with fruit in it, with the double glass with the colored ice in the middle of it. I sat down at the table. Now, you have to realize I just turned 13 years old. And I sat down, and the boy next to me he was from Roanoke. So I ate the fruit, and I'm hungry. I want something to eat. And so I said, I thought at the governor's mansion we would get more to eat than this. He looked at me and he said, that's the appetizer. I said, what? He says, the appetizer. And I want you to know that we ended up with a full 5-course meal, and I think I ate every bit of it. But I want you to know that I find good in everybody. And I love all of you. And thank you.
Doug Ingram.
Mr. Speaker, I have to say something about my family. They've been here through thick and thin. My wife, she passed away 9 years ago, but she was right there for me every step of the way. My family, my son, Riley Jr., stand up. and then Parker, my grandson Parker, and then my little granddaughter Brinkley, then my daughter Tracy, and Stacy, my daughter, and then my son-in-law Steve Hansen. Thank you a lot.
Well, Riley, wow. I've heard a lot of speeches over 30 years. I've never heard a speech like that. But you're just the most genuine person I think anyone would say. You have such a heart for this place. I've had the privilege of serving with you almost the entire time that you've been here. You've done a great job on county, cities, and towns and appropriations. You work very hard. You amaze me what you do with your constituents. He is literally everywhere. And I think La Charisse would say that, we've had a great working relationship in the Tri-Cities and really tried to work for our folks. And when Rosalind Dance was there, we did the same thing. So you've been a real credit to this institution. I don't think anyone loves this place more than you do. So just thank you. Great speech.